Is it time to take your shape and your future in a whole new direction? Hi, this is Rick Seymour. Join me for 14 minutes that may change your whole life. Because one of the things that I know is so significant in people's lives today is that so many are looking for freedom, both time freedom and the finances to enjoy that freedom. Looking for something where they can make a difference in other people's lives in very significant ways and build lifelong relationships and friendships that will last you and enrich your life. Realize that today we have a healthcare crisis in this country. Now let me ask you, if you knew a cure for cancer, would you shout it from the housetops? And yet here's the reality. There are 4 times as many people die from the consequences of obesity than die from all types of cancer. That's extraordinary. And we have an answer for that. Because you see, 2 out of every 3 people in this country know they need to make a change in their life. They're either overweight or obese, and the other third would just like to stay lean and healthy for the rest of their life. But the typical person goes on 4 diets per year. Now it occurs to me if they actually worked, they'd only go on 1. But you see, there are thousands of diet programs and products out there, and you can lose weight on virtually every one of them. Because malnutrition is a great weight loss program. But here's the problem. Most people end up skinny and sick, even if they are successful in losing the weight. Or would you rather be lean and healthy? From the #1 natural nutrition company in the U.S., Shaklee Corporation, you would only expect something that actually works. We have a clinically tested formula in our Shaklee 180 program that contains leucine. It triggers your body to maintain muscle mass. So you lose the fat, lose the weight, lose the inches, but you maintain your health in the process. You see, most diets, when you lose weight, half of it comes from muscle, half of it comes from fat. And then when you go off the diet, you put the weight back on, it all comes back as fat, and it's a downward spiral. It is more and more difficult over time to lose weight. But with Shaklee's 180 program, it is designed for 90 days to lose the weight that you want to lose and 90 days to learn how to keep it off. And that is the real key. Because you see, 80% of those people that lose weight will gain it all back plus more within 2 years. That is so sad when they work so hard to lose it. But it doesn't have to be that way. But realize the real answer to the healthcare crisis is don't get sick. And we figured out years ago that if you prevent it, you don't have to cure it. So it's not just about losing weight, it's also about your health. Shaklee's Lean and Healthy Kit replaces 1 meal a day with these extraordinary smoothies and a strip of vitamins called Vitalizer that provides extraordinary health. It's been my breakfast for the last 38 years, and I run rings around people half my age. UC Berkeley School of Public Health for almost 20 years has been doing what they call the National Health and Nutrition Examination Study. And they looked at people who take multivitamins and people who don't and compared their health. And the first thing that came out of the study, according to the American Pharmacy Association, is that in 2011, the average American under the age of 65 had 11.9 different prescriptions written per year, and over age 65, 28 different prescriptions written per year. That's extraordinary. But we went to UC Berkeley and said, would you take a group of Shaklee users who have used Shaklee for 20 years or more and compare them to those other groups? So they did. The average age was 63 in the Shaklee group, and at age 63 we had less than 1 prescription written per year. Now compare that to 11.9 or 28. That's extraordinary when you think about it. In 2011, the country spent $227 billion on prescription medicines. If we could eliminate 98% of that because we were more about prevention than treatment, we could save $225 billion in the healthcare system in this country right off the bat. But let's get a little more rigorous than that. One of the things that came out of the study is, #1, the age differences. The average age of the Shaklee group was 63. Average age of people taking other brands of supplements besides Shaklee was 58. And people taking no supplements, the average age was 53. So we were 10 years older than the no supplement group, 5 years older than people taking other brands besides Shaklee, and everything else being equal, you would expect us to have more problems, just because we're significantly older. And yet, look at these numbers. Diabetes, 2.9% of the Shaklee population versus 11.1 and 8.5. That's almost 4 times as high and 3 times as high. Heart attacks, 2.5% versus 7.6 and 4.4. That's triple and almost double. And right down the line, congestive heart failure, stroke, coronary heart disease, emphysema. You will see that the Shaklee group is dramatically healthier than the other two groups. And we're not talking 5 or 10 or 12%. We're talking differences of 2 and 3 and 400%, which is extraordinary when you think about it. But I want you to notice what is highlighted in yellow. For diabetes, heart attacks, stroke, and coronary heart disease, it turns out that people taking nothing have better health than the people taking other brands of supplements besides Shaklee. In other words, you're better off doing nothing than you are walking into your grocery store or your health food store and buying the majority of what's out there in the marketplace. Now, why is that true? Well, let me give you a classic example. Here is the label from Centrum, and according to their ads, it is the most tested and doctor-recommended vitamin on the market. I've highlighted in red a few things that you may wonder, well, what the heck is that doing in there? And let me point out some to you. It starts with 2 artificial colorings. Why do you need to put artificial coloring in a tablet you're going to pop in your mouth and never spend any time looking at? Calcium stearate is found in lubricants, surfactants, and soap scum. It's not even soluble in water. Your bloodstream is predominantly water. Cupric sulfate used as an herbicide, fungicide, and pesticide. Must be for all those dandelions growing in your stomach. Hypromellose, a viscoelastic polymer. It goes on: antifreeze, ink solvents, lubricants, synthetic resins. It's a scary list. All of these things can be toxic and or carcinogenic, and they're in a vitamin, the most tested and doctor-recommended vitamin. And yet the May issue of Consumer Reports gave Centrum the Chutzpah Award for having the most gall of any advertiser in the country, because the study they're referring to used Centrum with 10,000 doctors over an 11-year period, and the results of the study were there was absolutely no improvement in the doctor's health. So yes, it's the most studied, yes, it's the longest study, but the net result is it doesn't work, doesn't make any difference. Now look at this x-ray from a Denver chiropractor. This is a patient taking Centrum Silver. Here is the one about to exit the rectum, taken 2 days before the x-ray, the day before the x-ray, and the day of the x-ray. They never dissolve. They never break down. So even if there were something good in there, it's never going to get into your bloodstream or get into your body. But of course, now that you know what's in this stuff, you're probably saying to yourself, well, thank God it never broke down. But that's typical of 95% of what is sold in the marketplace today. And I don't care if you walk into Whole Foods or Vitamin Cottage or Costco, that is typical of what is being sold to us. In context, Shaklee, however, is the #1 natural nutrition company in the country, and from that landmark study, we took a survey of what were all the supplements that Shaklee people were taking that gave them some extraordinary health compared to the other two groups, and we put it in one simple package called Vitalizer. And we are the only company with independent clinical proof that our products work, the only one. But take a look, because when you add the smoothies to the program, they are all natural, they're non-GMO, they're low glycemic, they're gluten-free, and they taste great. Compare these protein drinks, these meal replacements if you will, to the competition. Of 58 brands of protein drinks tested by Consumer Reports, 25% had steroid contamination and 11% for other banned substances. EAS Myoplex Original Dark Chocolate Shakes and 2 versions of Muscle Milk Shakes had high levels of arsenic, cadmium, and lead. That is typical of what goes on in our industry, and yet none of those things would ever be found in a Shaklee product, because we do quality control tests on the raw materials and test for 278 different contaminants before we ever start the production process. There's no other company that tests for those kinds of things. But you see, it's not just about losing weight, it's about your health. Here's a friend of ours, Linda Bennett, who lost 75 pounds, but more importantly, before she started on Shaklee 180, she was taking 17 prescriptions a day, and her copay was $800 a month. So on top of losing the 75 pounds, she is on no medications today and saving that $800 a month in copays. Scott Mueller, another friend of ours, 15 inches and 33 pounds healthier, but more importantly, look at his blood work. 4 months after Shaklee 180, his cholesterol dropped from 203 to 170, triglycerides 154 down to 73, HDL, which is the good stuff, went up from 31 to 56, and LDL, which is the bad stuff, dropped from 141 to 99. It's about your health, folks. It's not enough to be skinny and sick. All of us need and want to be lean and healthy. And the premise of what drives this extraordinary opportunity is regardless of which program people go on, if they go on the turnaround kit, which replaces 2 meals a day, or the lean and healthy kit, which replaces 1 meal a day, either to lose weight or to maintain that healthy weight, all you have to do is have 3 friends join you on the same program you're on, and guess what? Yours will be free from that point in time on. That's an amazing offer for people, an amazing incentive. Number 1, to share it, but number 2, to help other people get healthy at the same time. But let's take that a step further, because with all the marketing tools and technology and support that Shaklee supplies people, between magazines and videos and recorded calls and evites and invitations and your own personal website and all the other pieces, including a mobile app that helps people stay on track and do amazing things in the process, you've got an amazing support system. And here's what can happen. If you just go out and help 3 people get their products free, you can earn yours free, but help 3 other people do the same thing with a turnaround kit where they're trying to lose some weight, you will generate enough volume to become what we call a director. That's the first step on the ladder in Shaklee. Now, if you also help 2 other people, in other words, a total of 5 people get their products free, you'll generate enough volume that you're going to be earning up to $1,000 a month in income. You'll get a registration for 2 to the annual global conference. This year it's in Nashville. And if you maintain that for 3 months, you'll get a trip for 2 to the San Francisco Bay Area to the home office for some amazing training, for dinner in Napa Valley and Winery, and some other extraordinary events. All of that just by helping 5 people get their products free. But what if you teach somebody else to do the same thing you're doing? You show somebody else how to get 3 people to get their products free. They become a director. If you maintain that for 3 months and have done it by the 6th month you're in the business, you'll be earning an average of $12,000. You'll earn an additional $1,000 fast track bonus on top of everything else, and start earning a car bonus of $275 a month on top of all of that. You help a second person find 3 people get their products free, so you now have 2 directors. You do that by your 9th month and maintain it for 3 months. The average income is $22,000 a year. There's an additional $4,000 in fast track bonuses added to that, your car bonus, and now you earn a trip to someplace like the Mayan Riviera, or this year it's a Caribbean cruise. Teach a third person how to find 3 people, get their products free. Have the appropriate volume associated with all of that. Do that by your 15th month. Maintain it for 6 months, and you will be earning an average income of $51,000 a year. There will be $34,000 in fast track bonuses thrown into the mix. You'll get a higher car bonus and another trip to someplace like Bora Bora, Kenya Safari, and this year it's Paris. Now let's put the whole package together. Here's what you can accomplish in 15 months. When you help 3 people get to the director level, maintain the appropriate organizational volume, you can earn up to $100,000 in income and fast track bonuses, 2 tickets to the global conference, a trip to the San Francisco Bay Area, a trip for something like a Southern Caribbean cruise, a trip to someplace like Paris, and a higher car bonus. Now let me ask you, where else on this planet can you find any job, any opportunity that can create that in 15 months? That is extraordinary when you think about it. But why would you stop there? If you go out and teach 6 people how to do what you're doing, create the appropriate organizational volume, the average income at that level is over $200,000 a year. If you do that within 3 years, you'll get an additional $50,000 in fast track bonuses and now a luxury car bonus and an additional VIP trip to San Francisco. I can't think of anything else that I could be doing that would create something like that. And it all starts with what we call a Gold Plus pack. It includes your own turnaround kit with all the products you need to replace 2 meals every day for a month. On top of that, it includes all of the tools you need to start building a business and the supplies you need to host a couple of parties to share this with other people. It includes 6 months of your personal website set up and free and everything you need to rock and roll with this. It's what allowed me to go from being an aerospace engineer to a Shaklee entrepreneur to being semi-retired at the ripe old age of 38, and for the last 29 years semi-retired. We've had an income in the 6 figures, and as bad as the economy has been in the last handful of years, our income not only never dropped, it continued to grow. And then there's folks like Al Hagerman, a friend of ours, who says after 43 years in Shaklee and $23 million in income, I'm making retirement at the rate of $3,000 a day. Do you think you could get by retired on $3,000 a day? Somehow I don't think Al's real concerned about what's going to happen to Social Security as the years go by. It's an extraordinary opportunity, but it's not just about success, it's about significance. It's about making a difference, because you can be helping solve the #1 health issue in this country and improve the lives of hundreds, if not thousands of people that are seeking a solution that really, really works. So you can win while you help other people win in their own lives. So I hope you'll join us. If it's time to take your shape, your health, and your future in a whole new direction, make sure you talk to the person who invited you to watch this recording. Thank you.